Hello and welcome. Welcome to Dragon Memoria. For those of you wondering what we're doing tonight, well, it's our live D&D session. Well, that is if you're watching this on Wednesday. If you're watching this on Friday, it's not live, it's rebroadcast. If you like Thunderstorm in the background, that's Ambient Mixer. If you like the world map, that's Wonderdraft. If you like the battle map, it's Dungeon Alchemist. If you like the town map, it's Canvas of Kings. And for the ambience, if you really, really, really like them, well, take take them in as much as you can because they might change soon. I might have found a very interesting and extremely royalty-free, huge database of music and ambience and sound effects. So probably gonna switch during the holidays. At the latest, probably at the game after Christmas. But if you enjoy them so much, well, maybe I'll play them for nostalgia after that point. But I might actually be getting high quality music and ambience. So this means we might actually get a fight song that is a little bit more vigorous than the one we have right now. All right. But that's not for another few weeks. All right. Well, as you can see, Jorg is still not there, and it's confirmed. Probably Terry's going to take his place on the team. All right. Yeah, to be quite honest, I've always contemplated the idea of giving the possibility for a player, if they want to be a sorcerer, to choose which of the three non-physical stats they want to have for sorcerer. Because honestly, sorcerer feels like there's so many different possibilities. Because it's like it's literally a inner talent. So you could decide it's biological. So there's monster blood in your history, and the way that you go about exploring everything is by studying your anatomy and how that works and everything like this. So I feel like if that's your choice, it would make more sense to have intelligence. If you want to go the route of, I don't know, Piccolo in Dragon Ball Z, you're a meditator. You meditate and you figure out the secrets of the world like this. It makes more sense to be a wisdom. And if you're someone that just has a bit like the bard, expression, it's a bit more flair, it's a bit more, then it makes sense that it would be charisma. I feel like this class should have options in there. Anyways. But that's not going to happen for this campaign. Maybe the next one. Who knows? Alright. What happened last episode? We don't need a thunderstorm because we're back in the garden. And it's actually snowing where you are in the world. So, our heroes gave it all for the cause. As odd grew bleaker, their determination solidified. Unfortunately, after only a few seconds of battle, it became clear determination and fate would not be enough. So a plan was hastily made, and because of a number of good decisions throughout the siege, the plan succeeded. A price, however, seemed inevitable, and one party member, audience, chose to sacrifice themselves in order for the plan to work. But faith Odd choice of word, but still, it's a good one. Fate had a different plan before the inevitable end came. Elements aligned, and a way for all to survive the battle presented itself. All that was needed was to believe, and after a brief hesitation, our adventurers did. However, where a life needed to be sacrificed, a sacrifice will always occur. And so, a person survived, but a life was still destroyed. And this is where we go back to our heroes as they go back to the garden, teleporting themselves in. For everyone, it's probably just, oh, we're back in the garden, this good old place where it's comfortable, and so long as you don't think too much about the gnomes on the upper floor, it's mostly safe in there. Which is probably the safest place you can possibly be in your world right now. But the cost, especially to audience. You've seen him just crumble into pieces after this decision, and for the first time of your life, you're looking at him and he doesn't look like the confident, exuberant dragonborn he's always been. So you are most likely in the hallway that is closest to all of your quarters right now, which is where you always reappear when, ever since that you became full members of the garden. Fisher, Remy, Arunak, and audience. Well, Jorg also, but Jorg, I don't know, Jorg feels weird right now. You're looking at him, he's sort of vacant, and he didn't have to sacrifice half of his life to do this. It's kind of weird, but, you know, maybe he's just holding back the desire to look at audience and say, ha ha, I knew it! And, you know, maybe he's just being polite.
Which only makes him hate Jorg even more. Because that means he chooses to be impolite toward Remy.
We're always responsible of our choices. All of them.
Audience probably here is going to... He kind of has to focus on individual tasks right now, just to kind of, so he's just going to start making his way towards the bar, because he promised to get the mimic some food, and then probably drop him off at the gnomes.
All right. Yeah, that's quite easy. Right now, your schedule is most likely rest a little bit, recover. You know that the garden will be expecting some sort of debriefing. You know that when they interact, when they ask something, they will also most likely explain why there was a book that needed to be destroyed or recovered. But it's likely not going to be right now. They kind of expect every adventurers to want to decompress or celebrate after a good win or a horrible loss.
It is weird, though, for some reason, in random parts of the world over the next month, just random meteor swarms.
It's weird. You know, no one saw it coming, but they just keep falling.
Are you here? Meteor swarm. Damn it!
So, yeah. It's probably gonna happen very soon. Um, Audience, you know that later today, Sachet is going to try and communicate with you, see if it actually works. Her try to include you in her ability to communicate without having to expand anything. And you have a mimic that you need to take care of.
I'm just gonna get it its food. I'm gonna drop it off at the gnomes. I mean, I'll tell everyone this. I'll kind of turn around. I'm like, I'm gonna go make sure the mimic's taken care of, that it's not gonna cause any trouble, and then probably gonna go pass out for a bit.
Well, there is Core that promised you, could join him in the tavern if you wanted.
Could. I'm not sure I can deal with Core right now, but well. I'm kind of annoyed with Core, but also at the same time, I understood like why he does what he does, but it's still annoying.
He rocked you to your very core.
I mean, with his knee, yes.
Man, he is just incorrigible.
Always at the core of every issues. Fisher, you gotta say at least one. Come on.
Doesn't deserve it. That's why he wants to turn you into a corpse. Sorry.
That one hurts two ways.
Well, according to him, anyway.
Although, to be fair, I will say, Fisher, I do think you need to figure out a way to resolve your issues with Core so they don't.
Yes, my issues with Core.
Okay, Core's issues with you, so they don't potentially cause an issue on a future mission.
Well, you do have one confirmation now. That, he promised that he'd kill you if he found you outside of the garden. But contracts come first. So you contemplated using him for your attack on the Mage Tower for one of the trophies. Now you know that if you want his help and not have to fear him trying to decapitate you, if you just give him a very precise contract, you can manipulate that to make sure that you come back.
Yeah. I would also tell Fisher about what I talked about with Core. I said I talked with Core a bit in the space when we were in there, and he did say that the duel didn't have to be to the death with you. He just wants you to prove to him that you're more than just the toy soldier that he calls you. Whatever that means.
Fisher, you've been you've been on a fishing boat, which probably helps you put context into that, because although the trials of a fishing boat aren't the same as an immortal warrior might see, there's still a small ecosystem that exists on a fishing boat where proving yourself simply means prove to everyone that you're useful, and then you're accepted in the group. Now, how to translate that to Core, that's your problem. But
Well, it is difficult to translate to Korean. What Remy actually says is, Better nut up or shut up.
Uh-huh.
The funny part is that still can apply to Fisher.
So yeah, for a warrior of the caliber of Kor, and now that you know that he's probably been practicing his skills for hundreds of years, well, that's really up to you to figure out how you might actually earn his respect. Although for some reason he does seem to at least respect audience a little bit, so I know that's not what you want to hear, but Taranad will gladly make sure that you hear it. You know, you should be a little bit more like audience.
Yeah, Fisher, you should go make a pact with an evil god that then plagues you for 1,000 years.
Yeah.
Come on, get on that.
Uh-huh. I'll get right on it. What do you think I'm doing with Terry?
True.
Well, yeah, in 1,000 years, yeah, he's you know, he grew 4 inch in a year, so
Laying the early seeds of a warlock pact of the great old ones.
in
know.
the
Of
next
Terry.
campaign, you're gonna ask me to play a warlock, and Terry's actually gonna be our patron.
God.
Mysterious space worm.
So, you know, and every time you have an interaction with him, he makes you see stars.
Mhm.
So, and yeah, you've also heard when Antasia said that the only one that could possibly rein in Kor is Sarn, the little guy that seems weird to the weirdest point and frail. Apparently, as a spellcaster, it would be able to rival him. So who knows? Maybe there's a piece of wisdom to be gotten from him. Although, he is weird, so that's really up to you. So, audience.
I think he is tired.
Fisher is tired. Well, no, yeah, you've almost died. You saw the wall of these little puppets get so close to all of you. You know, it was the zombies again, except that it was a meat grinder getting close to you and not something that wanted to try and eat you.
That was
So-
earlier with the form.
So I guess that one way or the other, audience and Fisher both find themselves in the tavern for their own reasons.
Yo.
What about Remy?
You know what? Ravi will be right there with them. Only he's gonna try making them some food.
All right. Trying to perfect your challenge of becoming a world chef.
It's gonna be Rami's retirement plan. Just like retires to like a kitchen or a tavern in some faraway place.
And my offer about this still stands, even though you never answered.
Oh, that was a hectic week for me. I think
Okay.
that might have been like running around. I was still like wedding planning.
Okay. All right. So,
So I did read it. I just like I got other things.
is it gonna help me find the perfect cake? No, I don't need to answer it. So, you all find yourself in the tavern. You introduce the people of the garden to a mimic who wants good food.
Yep.
There is probably a little moment where you see. It's been a while since you've been in the garden. What's his name? My list of people, of NPCs in the garden is starting to be really long.
You might need
Fisher's
tabs
family,
eventually.
Tobiyashi. Oh, that's that's exactly what I have. I just don't have a
A B C D E F G.
yeah. All right.
Each with like 15 names.
Garden staff. Here we go. Chief engineer, student, tavern keeper, Garatus. So, yeah, it's a warden. Oh, tall.
Right. Yes. I remember that because he gave Fisher the blue drink.
I could use some of that right now.
Well,
Fisher, I need to get hammered, and this is the only place I can do it.
Like, all right, Raby, what you're gonna do is you're gonna put a bunch of motor oil.
Just a little bit of supercharged energy, liquid life. So,
and then put just a little bit of battery acid.
So he looks at you for a brief moment as, that's interesting. We are going to have to figure out a way to tag him. Make sure he doesn't try and eat someone while they're reaching into a barrel for some ingredients.
He did make a promise. I don't know what a mimic's promise is worth, but as creatures, I'm not sure how deep their promises go, but he did promise as long as we feed him and didn't hurt him, he wouldn't try and eat any of the patrons or people here.
Well, most creature, if they have a full belly, aren't dangerous. So, there's probably...
It's really weird, though. There's like a very nice, comfortable-looking bar stool right at the rail.
Right. So, well, let's start by making sure he has a full belly. And, Mr. Ramy, you apparently have some duties in the kitchen.
Before Remy goes, audience is going to give you, because his plan is to literally go to bed after this, and he doesn't know if you want to go to bed or have some time, but he also just assumes you'd be more interested in this stuff. He's going to offer you all the magic items he got from the leader if you want to investigate or inspect them during some of your downtime or have them inspected. And I can give that to you. I don't know what any of them are, but I just know I had a magic...
Hold on.
It was boots, sword, dagger, shirt, buckler, and circlet, and they were all magic, but I didn't know what any of them did. Besides kind of the buckler, which makes some kind of giant shield come up.
Exiled event. Here it is. Yeah. So, right off the bat, Remy, there's one that you kind of feel like it's probably something that you know. The dagger looks awful lot like a dagger that you identified before. A dagger with the property of vicious. So it's a dagger that deals greater damage when you do critical strike with it. The others you do not know.
So
Gifts.
besides the dagger, it was boots, shirt,
Boots.
buckler, and
The
Boots,
exact list
sword,
is boots, sword,
boots,
dagger,
dagger.
shirt, buckler, and a circlet.
And audience will kind of give them to you in the term of gifts or more. Also, you can, if you find any of these useful, I'm sure you'll know how to best break them around.
oi oi, Captain. And it's like then winces at that. Sorry.
No, you're good.
So, audience, there are two ways for you to leave the tavern. You can go directly to your room, or, you have the Arboretum, which is very quiet. It's nature. You know that there are ponds, there's a deep forest. And if Sarn is in the garden, he's probably in there somewhere.
Yeah, I think audience right now doesn't. I think audience, for one of the very few times, truly does not really want to talk to anyone at the moment, and just kind of wants to process, and is just gonna head back to his room once he knows the mimic is taken care of.
Well, that's why I mentioned the Arboretum first and not Sarn first, just to let you
Yeah,
know that.
no, I think audience is just gonna head back to his room and try and get some shut-eye before they either get called for.
Okay.
I mean, he might get personally called, or um, the party might get called for an interrogation. So just try and kind of
Okay.
get some sleep before that happens. So yeah, he's gonna basically drop off the mimic and then basically tell it, here's your feast. We'll figure out some other time to come back. I'll find you for some of the questions we wanted to ask, and then head off to his room.
All right. Well, that's easy enough to do. And if you decide to avoid as many people as possible, that's very easy. It's the garden. No one's gonna push it unless
No,
it's.
I mean, audience would be friendly. He wouldn't be like an asshole. If people said hi and he'd say hi back, but he just wouldn't like stop for any conversations.
Yeah, most people in the garden will easily respect that. And those who wouldn't, I don't think they're here right now. The garden feels a little bit empty right now. Who's there right now?
They were all killed on separate missions, but part of the same mission.
No, well, obviously, Kazan and Kudown are going to be here soon. They've teleported away, but the garden is large, so there is somewhere in there. Longshot is also somewhere in there. Iselna and Azidra are probably in there. It makes sense for Iselna to either be resupplying or right now on the way to the tavern. Know if everything happened properly because she doesn't have an orb. She can't communicate with all of you. Core is most likely in the garden. Well, no, you teleported, so he might take maybe an hour to get there. Because he had to walk. He had to sacrifice his orb to make sure that he didn't get teleported against his will. Other than that, there's Tesul, who's most likely there. Siaraf and Bertrand are going to be there shortly. This one would most definitely not take a moment to talk with you, audience, but he would take the time to talk to one of the others. So, yeah, it's pretty eventless if you want to go to your room and not be bothered by anyone.
Yep.
So, probably audience right now, you've never felt life so empty. You've always been inhabited by the light of a god, and now you're not even sure that if you call to it, it's gonna even manifest itself. I mean, your god did just try to vaporize your spirit. So
Well, audience doesn't really want it to manifest itself either, but yeah,
No,
he feels a lack of presence of anything really. I'm just a mortal man.
well, Dragonborn.
Dragonborn, yeah.
So, you go in your room, you get in. For the very first time in so long, it really feels like you're alone in this room.
And then audience will pass out. At least until someone wakes him up.
Pass out crying for the life he lost, or just
Not crying for the life he lost. Just not really crying at this point. I think he's already cried. More just utterly exhausted.
okay.
I would say crying over a life that he didn't actually have. Like, that's an existential
Yeah,
personal crisis.
most definitely. Inside of the tavern, Remy, you're there and you start cooking, and as you're bringing up a variety of dish that you've learned to make, you know, you're a bit challenged because you didn't learn to make the most refined things. So you're once again back down to the lowest step of the ladder and trying to make the most refined of all things for this mimic who suddenly turns into a food critic at everything that you bring him. Oh, felt like it was gonna be a bit crunchy, but it's soggy. Is it supposed to be soggy? That's a bit disappointing. Is it supposed to be green also? Is it the natural color? I feel like it should probably been a more lively color than this. Oh. Salty? That's the third salty dish that you bring me. Maybe something a bit spicy. I don't know.
All Remy has left is salt.
In the moment,
Starts grumbling as he goes into the kitchen. Gonna light your ass on fire.
for the first time, Remy has a use for something he heard a long time ago. But at one point, as you bring out the dish, you hear a voice. Of course, you didn't see it coming. You just hear a voice that goes, maybe you should have been a little bit more careful when you were flying above everyone. You took too many things for granted. You turn around and you see Gemdesh on a stool, and he flips a little piece of metal toward you. He doesn't do it in a way that's challenging. You usually catch it because it was going right for your face, and it's an emblem of one of the guilds that were there. Fuck you, he was there.
That's all right.
But also, oh, all of your masters were there.
Yeah, just like does a brief count, stops at Jorg, puts the finger back down.
Yeah. Hmm. And apparently he had your back. Because he just said that you weren't careful enough when flying back to the fort. Okay. He just grabs one thing from the food tray that you have in your hand and just. He's right. You put too much salt. And he turns around and just makes a few steps, and you have that moment of, oh, god damn it! I blinked. He's gone.
Everyone's a critic.
Fisher, as you see this interaction, oh well, you know, you had one more allies than you
Remy,
thought.
I think your food is great.
Says the guy with no taste buds. Hey, compliment's a compliment.
You know what's actually really funny is that because of my life experience, if I were to make a mistake cooking, it would be not adding enough salt.
There's always space for overcorrection.
So, Remy, you have enough to do. Bringing those incredibly fancy and, you know, your training in this most likely started out with the basic foods, but now that there's an element of, all right, we got impress the belly of this beast. Foods are being brought with a wider variety of tastes, of decorations, and you know, especially as a Kenku, food making can become very colorful. Okay.
That's when he finds the natural food dyes.
You know, you have that moment of there's a way. Hold on. There's a way to make a menu around the idea of rainbows. Oh.
And years from now, Remy owns the gayest cafe in the whole island chain.
No. Every waiter is. And waitress, you know. Well, you know, you gotta have both, so you should probably also find some arcane creations. You know, neither.
Looks at Fisher, mentally shakes head.
You're gonna need to find some made by elves. You know, they already have that reputation of feeling a little androgynous compared to other species when they look at them. So probably the same thing with their creation. All right, Fisher.
Then you have to please a very specific clientele. Find some dwarves.
So you're telling me that you want to get into the alcohol making business. Is that? Because for a dwarf, if an alcohol doesn't give you more chin hair, then what's the point?
Because it gives you more pelvic hair.
As long as there's more hair somewhere.
Why is this food giving me ear hairs?
That's because it aged you 20 years.
Just like aged cheese. And it smells the same. Fisher. Remy has both interesting and frustrating time in the kitchen. You're probably the one that has the most free time right now. You have your exhaustion, but also you have Terry, who you shoved back into his box when you realized he was in mortal danger.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'll take him out.
all right,
Now that we're back in the garden.
okay. Well, his first question is everyone alive?
Yes,
That's good.
it is. You did very well back there.
Oh, well, I just
I'm sorry
used
for
my
it.
abilities to achieve the best outcome that I could think of. But thank you.
Sorry for shoving you back home so quick.
I am going to have to think of a way to be able to talk to you, even though I am inside of my world.
You should be able to do it currently with using spell power. However, to be able to do it without using spell power might prove tricky. But I was thinking, now that we're back here, of having something made that might make it easier for you to converse with other people.
That would probably be interesting. One thing that you've noticed in the past 36 hours,
Uh-huh.
there are new words in his vocabulary. New arrangement of stars that you've never had before. So there are moments where I don't know that word.
Mm-hmm.
Where did that word come from? And there's a little new layer to his talking. First there were stars, then there were constellation, and now you're looking at this and you want to say, what is that word? It looks like a sea of stars. Well, for Andre, it's nebulas and star clusters. But for Fisher, it's weird. What does that mean?
See, this is what I'm talking about. You've gone way past what my ability to understand. What does that mean?
Oh, oh, that's right. I I have to keep it as simple as possible. Interacting with this other entity has forced me to add a new layer of ideas. It's the only way that my language could incorporate his. That's a bit hard to explain.
That's understandable.
I'll have to keep in mind that I can't use this new alphabet with the rest of you.
Yeah. Your mind is far beyond that of most beings I have encountered. And as cool as that is, unfortunately, it means sometimes you will have to dumb things down to connect with those around you.
Oh, I think saying dumb things down is a bit exaggerated. I I don't see anyone as dumb. And for a brief moment, you see this star cluster that appears and then goes back to normal word dumb when he's when he says it.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone has the potential to understand more. It's I understand that it can be more difficult for some, the the learning process of gaining complexity, but I don't think it's simply outside of the reach of anyone. But you know more about the world than I do. After that, after all, isn't that what fathers are supposed to be? More knowledgeable?
Yeah, I'd say
That's the first
it's
time he calls you father.
yeah, there was some hesitation there.
But
Fisher
just be
decided
thankful he
to
didn't
just
call you daddy.
roll with it and think about it later. Um, I guess the biggest limitation may just be people often don't have the time or desire to spend the time to be able to understand.
Oh, that makes sense. All right. I will do my best to decomplexify my language when interacting with others. Although I am surprised that there seems to be only you, Mr. Raimi, Mr. Audience, um, Mr. Tobiyashi, and part of the members of the garden who can understand me. I feel like there should be more.
Well, I guess that was what I was hinting at earlier. The way in developing your own language, the only people that you are able to communicate with are those who either have put in the time to learn it or are able to understand it magically.
Hmm.
So I was thinking we could have a device made that could assist both in others
Okay.
understanding what you're trying to say and you understanding
I guess that's possible.
verbal speech.
I guess that's possible. My mind does feel like there is an empty space to be connected to magical objects. In the D&D term, he has a free slot. A free attunement slot. All right.
Basically, I'm thinking of something that will translate when people talk, it can throw up stars that he can read. And
Yeah,
then
that's
when he
probably very easy.
tries to talk, it will talk
Comprehend language mixed with,
a minor illusion
well, that would be
or
for him to
something.
understand visually. But if you push this to something a little bit more, um, something that can reach to his mind, like message mixed with either a message cantrip or literally a type of sending.
Uh-huh.
You mix it with a yeah, comprehend language and message would probably be the easiest thing, because it would allow to translate both ways. And comprehend language, if I remember correctly, is first level.
Yeah.
So you can probably, so it would be a first level and a cantrip mixed together. You'd probably be able to have this done for 100 gold and a few days.
Mm-hmm.
I can actually imagine it now. It's just a little glass board that as the starlight passes through it, it actually turns into letters in common that people can read.
And when he forgets and he says a word that's too difficult to translate, you sort of have this weird moment of translation where it's, you really should manger des framboises. You know what I mean? What the? It would be good for your health. What's good for my
And
health?
that's when somebody right next to him says, like, it's all French to me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Look, you're not going to get prime jokes like this in any other stream, folks.
Yeah. If only we could get more people. I'm sure they would laugh so much. All right. So, quite easy to do, as I said. It's a first level spell mixed with a cantrip, so you'll find someone willing to make it for 100 gold and 2 or 3 days easily. what shape do you want it to be? Like a little pendant that he's wearing, like I don't know,
That's
tooth
honestly
filling.
having thoughts of having stuff made for Terry. The one thing I keep coming back to is how does a worm wear anything? And I guess just tie it around him. So, like a sash, essentially.
Okay, that could be interesting. You could, well, that would be an interesting way of tuning to an object. You could always have it made as a bead and let him eat it. You've never seen him poop anywhere, so you don't know what happens to what he eats.
True. But
No, but a sash is a nice idea. A little piece of clothes that he can just um, wear, add to himself like this. That's and he's got a home, so when he's inside of his box, he can just take the sash and hang it up.
uh, so yeah, I think we'll go to the merchant quarter and to have someone to start
Low
on
level
that.
spells, you know where everything is in the garden by now, so it's extremely easy for you to find the right shop, a clothing shop most likely, unless you want to take. I know that you like
I
gambling.
thought about the gnomes and then I decided against it. It's pretty simple
That's-
and there's no reason to overcomplicate it.
All right, quite easy, quite easy. You easily find a place to have magical clothes made, and there's probably an element of amusement by the shopkeeper when he says you want a sash made. Oh, good. He starts looking at you and he says, "For Terry." You just hear this. Okay. It's
Save you on materials.
he takes out the ruler that he was about to use for you. Huh. Takes a smaller one and starts measuring. Terry. All right.
And then because of our history with bouncing out as soon as possible, how much more expensive would it be to have it only take a day?
Um. Yeah. For 200 gold, you can come back tomorrow.
Sweet.
All right.
With us,
Turn.
you just know there's a chance that all of a sudden we're not here in
I
3
know.
days.
I know. So turns around and says, "All right, we have a rush job to do. Come on, come on. Take the measurements, and let's finish this by tomorrow." All right. So I'll create it in D&D Beyond.
Carry translator.
The translator.
Oh.
There it is. I was trying to think of something, but I didn't get that.
All right.
Look, I've been making puns for literal decades, and my powers only go stronger as I continue teaching.
Oh yes, yes. That's most of the my ability to make puns with stupid words has come from playing with teenagers. So and young adults, you really can't underestimate them.
You can't underestimate them.
No. All right. So it did take you a little bit of time walking all the way to the commercial district. So by the time that you finish, something like an hour has passed. Remy, you've never worked so hard to cook food in your entire life. The mimic seems to be satisfied for the deal, but he feels like after seeing all of this, feels like there was a little bit of holding back. It's obvious that so much more can be done. But the mimic does stare in your direction after all of this. He says he is eager to see you progress to this new profession of yours. I'll be back tomorrow.
As the mimic leaves, just again under his breath, obviously in a different voice, and I'll be waiting. It is now a personal challenge.
To satisfy the mimic.
This is no longer about deals. This is about pride.
So, you have to have the mimic's clothes fly off when you eat your food.
Do mimics wear clothes? I don't think they wear
He's
clothes.
gonna knock his cushions off.
He's
like,
gonna
oh,
lose
actually,
his
shoot.
shape.
What do you call the little bits that you put under a chair or a table so that it doesn't scrape against the floor?
The official
Are they
name?
just called feet?
Yeah.
Like knock their feet off?
Yeah.
I think it's just feet.
Okay. I don't know either. What's the name of those things? Okay. All right. After an hour, you've just finished. You've just come out of the shop, looking at all of the gnomes going about their business. The shopkeepers. Remy, you have a passing grade for today. But you will not rest until you get 100% on your evaluation. I'm just getting flashes of I don't know if you've watched Lower Decks.
No, I haven't watched it.
Okay.
I know what you're talking about, but
One of the group is the model of the perfect little Starfleet officer, always willing and ready to do more, to just jump from one job to the next. And at one point, they have an evaluation to see their performance in a specific scenario, and everyone else on the ship fails, and he succeeds at, I don't know, I think it was 65%, and you just said 65%. Run it again. And he does not stop until he gets 100%. Which he has to save children from Borg, teach the compassion to the Borgs. So, yeah. And audience, you probably get woken up by this little alarm. of the garden. Sira is on the other side of the communication. So if you all take it, you all get the same message. Now then, you've all been witness to something that's a little different. I feel like you should all get some explanation. So, everyone that was there for this priority quest, it would be best if you all came to the command center. If you wish, we can also do the debriefing of everything that happened if you feel up to it. Theag and Ilithane will also be there. So if you all confirm, it would be greatly appreciated if within the next half hour. Oh, sorry. Fisher, you're a bit far. Let's say 45 minutes. If you all could come to the command center. I feel there's a lot that will be discussed today. Do I have confirmation from all of you?
Yes.
Yep.
You hear Bertrand, you hear Longshot, Siaraf, Kudown, Kazin, Gamtesh, Kor, Tesul, all answer. Alright. So, just like before, you are greeted in front of the entrance to the command quarter, which you need to go through a door that looks a whole lot like the safe in which your object were, and apparently is excessively secured. There's always a gnome in front of it trying to figure out how to circumvent the defenses around this quarter. So when you arrive, there's a few gnomes that just start darts off in different directions. There's a warden waiting for you. Well, it seems that you're the last ones to arrive. And he looks at you, Fisher, Remy, and audience. Please come in. There's a lot to discuss. He opens the door, and you go in. He escorts you to the command center of this. You've been there a few times. You see Sira in the background, taking care of different communication. Looks like a quiet night. She just has a few moments. Every 5 or 6 minutes, you'll hear her say, "Hello, this is Sira." So you're getting that there's a lot of traffic in terms of conversations, but it's never big things. Nothing. She doesn't seem to suddenly shift gear and start responding to something that feels like an emergency. It's always something that is easily settled. So you come inside. Theag, Ilithane are already there. Fisher, is Terry out for this, or do you leave him out?
Yeah.
Of the okay. So you all sit down. Large table, round, and everyone that was involved in this is there, including Kor. As always, confident, taking up as much space as he can on his chair, looking at everyone. He always gives a few more glances toward Illithane for some reason. You get the feeling that he has the same desire to try and fight him at some point than he had trying to fight the exiled. Feheg speak first. So, which of those two meetings would you like to have first? Your story, or the story of why an object needed to be recovered?
Oh, we can do the object first.
I'm curious about the book.
Right. So, yes, as you might have guessed, our expeditions have an ongoing quest. There's no easy way to explain this. $5,000 years ago, the conflict on our world ended. One of the plagues of our world was a group of wizards, 12 to be exact, each one a specialist of its own field, incredibly gifted. The fight was hard, but with the help of heroes coming from another world, eventually their reign ended. You see every warden in the room when she says this sort of have a quiet moment, as if she just mentioned something that most of them felt at least a little bit of shame. But before it all ended, the last wizard wanted to make sure that uncontrolled chaos would forever spread in the universe. So, in his case, he took his book and broke it. Each page, some pages were even ripped in two, and he sent them across time and space. We've had expeditions where we reached a world and one page found its way into that world before us, long before we arrived. And in all of those worlds, the only thing we found were ruins. The knowledge in their books is cursed, although cursed feels extremely weak as a word. It is so much more than if anything worlds like yours have been able to figure out. We've been able to confirm that the book that you found was made from finding a single page. When a wizard finds it, it is always a gift. It always feels like peering into thousands of years into the future, allowing the wizard to understand concepts which felt unattainable, but in a way that feels like the most ungifted of children can actually understand and perform it. I believe you've witnessed the most basic of gifts that this book can create. On our worlds, these puppets that you've seen are called Muppets, magical puppets. And they are made using the lowest of all spells. Basic knowledge. And it creates an arcane being. Permanent. So anyone with this can create an army. A permanent army. Within days. That page was most likely in the hands of that wizard of your world for a few years now. So he was able to create armies. This little swarm that you saw is but a fraction of what was in our world and what we found in other worlds. So, whenever a page of this book is found, it either needs to be secured or destroyed, because the more you study it, the more the curse takes hold, the more it twists your mind, the more it feels like the power that you're gaining is incredible and at no cost, but slowly you start thinking the same way the wizards did. Until it takes completely over and starts the plague that we had on another world. And it ends when nothing is left alive but mindless arcane machines. We don't know how many pages there were in that book. We all know that it's been broken and sent through all that remained of the universe. We do this, yes, because some part of us feels responsible for this. But also we have learned that our own wizards weren't the first one with this knowledge. It was simply not the way it is in your world. They came across it through their studies by finding secrets hidden in the universe. Because of us, of our world, of this war that we had, it simply has become easier for this knowledge to spread, this virus to infect. But it existed before us. So that is why you received this priority mission. We always hoped that it will never be a part of the world, but at least we were there, and thanks to all of you, one more page was recovered, and your world will not suffer the fate of many others.
What are you going to do with it now? Can you destroy it?
It is difficult, but in time, yes. It will be destroyed. The process is long. The pages have a life of their own. It will fight back, but we know how to contain it, and eventually it will dissolve and die. I know that some of you may feel like it should be studied, but that is the trap. The promise of ultimate knowledge in exchange for your souls. You become the destroyer of worlds if you start to study it.
Yeah, sounds above my pay grade.
Well, part of it, but also that's exactly what I mean. If you'd found it, you would have been marveled by how easy the spells are, how the ideas explained on this single page completely revolutionize anything you've ever understood. And in a few years, your friends would have been the one trying to kill you. And you would have seen it as them betraying you. But they would have known that it was to save their world. So,
does that guy have to die?
The person did not have to die. That was Core's decision. Core, oh yeah, he didn't really want to give up the book.
Well, actually, I'm not sure if it was explained last session or not, but at least Raimi, and I guess by extension me above table, didn't actually know what his fate was. So
That's okay.
now Raimi knows. It's like, oh, never mind.
He said something about over his dead body, so I granted his wish.
Sounds about right.
Some people just hang on to things too tightly. And he slaps the shoulder of Keizun beside him. Keizun has just said, yes, of course. The egg keeps going. It says, all right, so do you have any questions about this?
Is how likely is it that there's more?
You have Longshot says, yeah, I wanted to know. That's the kind of the question that I had also. We haven't encountered a world where a second page has been found. But we never stop looking. Just because it never happened doesn't mean that it can't. And the fate of all those living on a world is in the balance. So really, we really can't stop paying attention to those things. Other problems can occur. visitors from other worlds, but in terms of danger to your world, this is the only true one. And it is a single book of knowledge.
It's the knowledge itself is cursed.
As best as we can understand it, yes. The knowledge was acquired long ago by someone so intelligent that the gods allowed him. Not even sure it was a him. It happened so long ago, no one actually remembers who it was. But that wizard was allowed to see the laws of creation. Those laws that are so complex that only gods can look at them without losing their mind. But he was so intelligent that he was able to see them and understand them, and he created incredible things. But because he couldn't fully grasp everything he saw, some intentions, some ideas were mixed into it, and when it gets passed down, those thoughts also get passed down like a tainted source of water.
Your grandpappy was Republican, your daddy's Republican, and you're gonna be Republican too.
You hear Bertrand just say, "Yeah, I know about that. You really should always be careful what water you drink. Um, just be careful if there are beavers in the area. You really want to be careful about the water that you drink. Just saying." And for those of you wondering, it's an actual fact. Beavers have this little element in their excrement that, when it gets mixed with water, is not lethal, but you are gonna get diarrhea. So. And to be fair, if you're in a survival situation, diarrhea can kill you. So. It's as best as we can explain it. While the knowledge itself was good, because what he learned is not something that you can just write. Feelings and intentions will get mixed, become part of it. And because he ended up completely insane, that is also the fate of anyone trying to learn that knowledge.
Nobody's been able to remove the curse. Is it cursed, or is it just innate?
Curse is not an inaccurate word, but it is weak for what it truly is. And yes, Fisher, people have tried. This is why we know this is the trap. everyone wants to have greater knowledge. Everyone wants to have an easier life. And this is exactly the promise it gives you. Everyone wants to be more powerful, wants to rule more, help more, save more. And that is exactly what it promises. And initially, it is exactly what you get. But it creates an insatiable hunger to be more, to have more, to create more.
We'll take your word for it.
Sorry, I was moving and my chair creaked. I didn't hear what you said.
Like the story, we'll take their word for it.
um, all right. If no one else has anything to add to this, you hear Cor say, well, now we know where our boy here, and he points toward you, Fisher, stands. He's more wizard than warrior. And he glances in your direction, audience, when he says this.
Audience is very zoned out. I'm gonna be honest. Audience is not really. They started talking about wizard books, and you could just see his eyes like
Glaze over.
He was like, "This is not important enough to pull me out of my trauma right now."
It's like, and static noise.
He's like, what? Another reason to kill the wizards? Okay, gotcha. Okay, Clay's dies.
So basically, for audience, that's what he heard.
More validation? All right.
Well, that's a bit why Cor was looking in your direction when he said that, because he knows that you have a hatred for wizards.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So.
Yeah,
No.
or some of us think that exercising the mind is also helpful to being a warrior. Not all of us can get by without it.
Cor looks at you and says, well, you still have a long way to go. Maybe in my spare time I can, I don't know, tutor you on the basics of lives.
You have lived centuries longer than me, so if you weren't better, it would be very suspect. I've been around for almost 4 now, so we're getting there, though.
I guess I was as slow as that once. I can forgive it. You hear Terranite inside of you say, alright, so now he thinks we're slow, uneducated children. I'd very much like to say something against him, but I really can't figure out what we can say that's gonna stick. That's frustrating.
Yeah.
All right. So, after this, you're asked about what happened during that event, that quest. Now, it is not technically a quest that the garden gave, but because it involved several adventurers, several group of adventurers, they very much would like to know what you have to report. Obviously, because you were those at the center of it, your testimony and your account of what happened is considered of higher value. So, my question is, how much did you share? Everything, part, the bare minimum, according to you?
Share everything and try and make Core look really bad in the process. Really hammer home how we all stood together and we did it, and then Core came in and tried to kill everybody and ruin it.
All right, all right.
Audience eyes will light up slightly in amusement at Fisher's retelling.
All right.
And then just a slight amount of credit at the end for the fact that he turned it around.
All right.
Like, sure, it's because they know because we let him out.
Yeah.
We beat him.
Yeah.
But, you know, out of our gracious heart.
Yeah, he came in, and unfortunately, we had to kill him, which we would have done had this thing with the book not happened.
Okay. Audience, obviously, there are more things that you can share than the others, both personally and what happened inside of the storage. So it's up to you what you want to share.
I mean, the stuff in the storage was mostly just a personal conversation between me and Core.
Yeah.
That wasn't really... I don't think that needs to be super shared.
Okay.
And the personal stuff, probably people will notice that audience isn't wearing his emblem anymore, but unless someone comments on it, he's not announcing his drastic changes to the world. There are certain people he might tell, but I don't think they're here. Certain people who were affected directly by his cult or religion, but I don't think they're here.
Well, the element that could trigger someone else asking is if you decide to tell about that moment where your god asked you to kill the exiled and that you chose not to.
Audience doesn't need to. No, that's not something like he might ask personally later more about that god to one of the garden members, but he doesn't need to be like, oh, by the way, guys, I rejected my god and did this really heroic thing. Look at me, I'm cool. He doesn't feel the need to do that.
No. But the garden is always likes having all of the knowledge, all of the fact. So beyond the element of...
I would mention... Okay, here's what I would mention. Because I think I know the god's name, correct? Because I figured it out. Who my god... Like, that god's name. I think I would mention that he was involved. I would tell the garden in my notes that he was involved and wanted the exile dead, and also that he's most likely behind... the god behind the my religion spreading in Othanel and one of the components in league with the Hunter cult and the others. That is something I would mention because that's important information.
Okay. Okay.
The Eye of the Abyss, I think that's its name. Correct? Am I correct?
from the abyss, I think, but yeah, mostly, yeah, that's correct. Hold
From
on.
the abyss.
Gods.
Eyes of the abyss.
I thought it was Eyes of the Abyss.
Eyes of the abyss. Yeah.
Okay, yes. I would tell them that god was involved and kind of that what it was behind.
Okay.
That I would mention in the
Okay.
debriefing. That is it.
Well, everyone has a little bit of a. You know, you're looking around in the room as you say this, and you said that the eyes of the abyss might actually be the god behind your religion, and it might be your fault that the religion spread to Otanel. And probably because of the slight shame that you feel, you just try and explain it really fast, and then you realize that you're surrounded by gnomes and things like this. That's basically their language fast. So they all follow you as you. Make a perception roll.
Absolutely. Audience
Yeah.
perceptions. They're my favorite. That's an 8.
All right. Well, with an 8, the only thing that you perceive of the room is that. Why does it feel like I'm the last one to figure this out? Because you got everyone looking at you, all of the adventurers, they're just there and. Sort of, yeah, we kind of all figure it out. Okay. But with an 8, because that's really obvious how everyone seems uncomfortable, not because you've just told them that your god was this evil creature, but more like, yeah, we all figured it out.
Audience kind of assumes they had guessed. He more just didn't know if they had the actual information of what it was.
Thayhag and why won't his name come out? I kept saying his name earlier, but now his name doesn't come out. Ilithane, good lord. They don't have a reaction, and that's kind of unexpected, but also not. So far they've been extremely patient with all of you, even telling them that Kor actually tried to kill you all. And almost made it all fail, and because you managed to shove him in dimensional space, there was an opportunity there. Even that, they don't react, as if it's like looking at parents that sort of just are really listening to you, listening to what you're saying, and at no point judging in any way, shape, or form what you're saying.
Dad, my big bully brother was bullying us, and we had to stick him in a crate.
And his reaction is, I see.
I see.
So it is a bit unsettling to see how composed they remain after everything you just said. But, they keep talking about a war that was about ending all things. So maybe it's just the fact that this level of trauma is really low compared to what they've seen through their life. But still, to be able to talk to someone who doesn't give any clue whatsoever that you're being judged, it's a bit different. After you, Longshot tells his part of the tale outside of the fort because he spent most of his time outside. Um, you hear part of the battle through Kaezin, Kudown, Sierraf, and um, Bertrand Eyes, um, helping collapse the different fronts. You hear what actually happened inside. Sorry, inside of the ship. The difficulty they encountered. They actually were, and you learned that they actually were preparing to completely overwhelm you with the breaching device that they had. But fortunately, they didn't get to use it. But there were 5 of them. Each one would have been able to teleport inside of the fort 5 persons, and it would have just kept on every turn. Attack, attack. So eventually you would have been overwhelmed. So, good call. And the last one to talk is Tasul, because he was the last one to arrive. You hear the story from his eyes. He. You sort of understand that he's been busy since the past year or so. He finished retraining himself, but he's been very busy doing other things. But when he heard that you needed help, he decided to come. However, because he arrived late, he didn't know where you all were. But when the Muppets started to gather and started to rise and slowly formed a dome, you became visible from afar, and that's what allowed him to reach all of you as fast as he could. And as fast as Core can be, his specialization is movement. So he could cover even more ground than Core could. So that's why he, even though you were far in the distance, he was able to make the distance, cover the distance so quickly. He does have a moment where he looks at you, specifically audience, and he expresses a little bit of sorrow at the fact that he wasn't able to be there sooner for you.
No, it's all good.
And with all of the information and a few jokes from gnomes in the different consoles around you, the briefing completely ends. Thayag is probably the one that says, "Wow, that was interesting. Exiled are a fascinating species of your world."
Are they of our world? I got the sense they weren't.
They aren't. Have you not encountered them before?
Rarely. Very rarely. We've encountered, there's no other way of calling him, the Avatar of Hope a few times, but we've never actually had anyone that's personally interacted with exiles in other worlds. And to be clear, they've only ever been found on a handful of worlds. 6, if I'm not mistaken. And she turns around, looks at one of the gnomes. He has so many stuff around his head that feels like he's an archivist of some sort, always writing stuff. Yes, 6. Well, technically 7, but on the little 7th one, it was just his remains. So 6.
So I assume you don't know their origin then.
More or less. They come from another layer of existence, if I'm not mistaken. This is why their perspective is so different and difficult to translate.
Harry was able to have a rather in-depth conversation with it. If you would like him to recount it to you.
Theag, there's a shift in the way that she responds to all of this when you mention Terry. It goes from distant mom to nurturing mom, and she just slightly bend over and looks at Terry, and you see a whole bunch of little stars appear. Almost too fast for you to understand. It's sort of wait, hold on. What was that word? Okay, I think I know what she said. That would be very much appreciated if you didn't mind leaving him with me. I promise I will return him to you within the hour. Unarmed, don't worry.
All right.
See if you can get the information. Write it down in a different language for us.
Well, it wasn't that. It was the issue that was this. It's the same issue as talking to him.
Yeah.
The ideas are too complex.
See if you can make it into a picture book.
I don't think it would translate well to a picture book, unfortunately.
Yeah. It's very much like trying to explain color movie to someone who's ever only watched black and white movie. So that's...
Yeah. Oh, audience would also mention. Also, Yusalna also, I think, got the story, but it hurt her brain. She's alive, though.
Yes, she did spend a little bit of time in the infirmary. Did ask for a certain quantity of test to be made on her. I heard she had a clean bill of health. Was only asked to take a few days to rest.
That's good. I'm sure Azidra was happy to hear that. She was upset.
Most likely. Not everyone likes having someone they admire so much injured. Remy, the way she says this, it makes you think that she knows. Well, to be fair, they do have medical equipment that is so much more complex than anything you've ever had. So something might have popped up. Right then. Well, that was an interesting story. Like I said, Terry will be back with you for sure. Momentarily. And I feel like most of you are probably very eager to get a good night's sleep.
Yep.
So we will not hold you back. Thank you for sharing everything. Core, thank you for the book. The payment will be given to you, don't worry. Yeah, that's... Some holes in my strategy have been underlined. I'm hoping to use that to cover them. Should someone else have the same idea in the future. And when he says that, he looks at the three of you. He's not bitter at all. You kind of all get sort of a feeling of he's a little bit excited by that. A chance to become even more impossible to stop.
Good job, guys. We point out the flaws in his strategy.
Always happy to help.
Always happy to help. So how much is that help worth in monetary terms? No, I would go over to Kudon, though, and I would see if I could get my helm back, if he had it.
Oh, yeah, right. When you say this, he sort of has the exact same response, just a little bit more calm. Oh, yes, of course. Yes, I have it. Here. And he hands it to you. Still in good condition.
Thank
You
you.
get the feeling that it may be out of charges, but it's
That's fine.
most useful.
I'm glad it could serve you well.
Most useful. I may try to add this to my collection, although in a format that is a little easier to transport.
Understandable.
You hear Kaizen go, "Ah, are you gonna make a bracelet of it?" Kudown just looks at him.
I've heard the cock rings of these varieties are excellent.
You see Kaizen hold back a really, really...
A lot easier to smuggle.
Kaizen really liked your joke. You see him just go... You have Kudown look at you the same way he just looked at Kaizen with this... Oh, not you two. Kind of look.
Oh, then I'll give a nod and walk away.
All right. So, the debriefing is done. The information has been passed. You think you managed to make Core look like a little bit of an ass. That's a win. Then you realize that Core doesn't mind. Okay.
And everybody already knows. Or at least it felt good.
Yeah. And Terranat agrees. Terranat agrees with your decision.
Mm-hmm.
He kind
I
of feels
don't think-
slightly proud of you,
Yeah.
for adopting his way of thinking.
I will say, well, probably if we ever have to fight Core again, figure out a new way to beat him. He'll probably figure out some way to not get trapped in the dimensional storage again.
Really? Are you sure?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that'd be any useful, and eventually have to duel him anyway.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, is everybody kind of splitting up and going their separate ways?
Slowly, everyone, yeah. Look, you're still in the
I mean,
room.
I'm going. If you're asking, I'm going to bed. I don't know.
I would follow Tsul out.
Okay.
I know you two have slightly different styles, but I've got this duel with core hanging over my head, and I would appreciate some advice for how to fight a blade master, as a lot of my fighting style relies on magical barriers.
I see. Well, that may be a little complicated for you to have a decent defense. But there are always ways to prepare for something. I will try and figure something out. Something that you may be able to use should that duel ever come. But I feel no anger from him toward you. I feel it is a question of honor for him to do this duel. You might try to look into ways to gain respect from him as a way to avoid this.
I mean, it feels like the only thing he respects is fighting.
You're not wrong. But then, how can you earn his respect? Through fighting. I do feel like after this last encounter, Core respects audience a little more than he did before. Why do you think that is?
Because the audience was the one that went with him into the pit.
I forget you do not have any brothers. I will try and think of something for a violent solution, but maybe you should talk to audience for a non-violent solution.
All right.
I feel I must warn you that a violent solution to this will put you at a disadvantage no matter what strategy you use. Core is a formidable opponent. And if you understand everything he said during that briefing, I hope you realize that at no point he used the full might of his weapon on your group.
I figured.
That speaks a little. It meant he was holding back intentionally. Fighting him at his best may not be the best way to win. But I will look for one.
All right.
Is there anything else you need?
No, that was mostly it.
Very well.
Thanks for the help out there.
That was my pleasure. good cause always needs to be supported.
Also, I know he's on his way to bed, so not right now, but at some point, audience could probably use some words of wisdom
Yes.
right now.
I feel like he will get some anyways. You might not have noticed, but he did draw the attention of Ilithane during that debriefing.
I did not notice, no.
Ah. But I will visit him nonetheless.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching out for him as well as your friends. I know that I am a bit more of a loner, but even I have had moments where friends made the difference between dying in combat and surviving.
Nice to have someone to watch your back.
Always. Which has made it all the much more appreciated to have a new companion in the shape of a little object handed out to me when I arrived here. He takes
Oh
out
man, is
his...
yours nice to you? It's amazing. I wonder what that would be like.
Well, the object itself had some agency. And he shows this, it looks like a small statue of a little dragon. It's sitting cross-legged, but as you just look at it for a brief moment, you realize that, oh god, it's actually moving. It had a brief... So his object is actually alive.
Oh. Wild.
There's a thought in your mind, oh, like mine, but just less annoying. This one meditates. Mine just talks all day.
Yeah. And then I think I'll wait for Terry to be done, and then after that I'll go back to my room.
All right. I was gonna say, Remy, do you want to do something? But I think we should go on the break and get to that
Definitely.
question when we come back.
We are a little behind.
It's just a
I should also mention I can't really stay up late tonight because tomorrow's Thanksgiving for us, and I gotta get up
that's
earlier
right.
to
Yeah,
help out
Thanksgiving.
and stuff.
All right. So I'll do my best. So we really need to take that break right now.
Yeah.
And we won't stay
A little dance.
too much.
Make a little love. Get down tonight.
All right. There you go. Here you go. No, not that one. Here we go. Marsh sound, just because it's easier to understand that we're on a break and time is moving on. And we'll be back in 15 minutes. Bye. Hello, we're back. Everyone's alive. Yay. So, as I was saying before we went to break, Remy, is there something you want to do with all of those people as they're all leaving, or as everyone is going to their quarters, or do I just skip forward?
I mean, honestly, considering the day, it's like I do think it's fine to just let people go home. It's like though before Raimi does go to bed, he may as well do as audience requested and it's like see what those items were all about.
All right, so only 2 of those objects are object that I made. The others you can easily find in D&D Beyond in the book. So the boots are boots of speed. The sword is sword of life stealing. The dagger is a vicious dagger. And the circlet is a circlet of spell storing. So it's the exact same thing as a ring of spell storing, but it's a circlet. And your identify does tell you that there is 1 hold monster spell still stored inside.
This dude was loaded.
The 2 objects which which I made in D&D Beyond, but which you are not familiar with. The shirt is a shirt of bandaging, and the buckler is a buckler of barrier. So you'll find them in D&D Beyond. I've created them, but if you want to have a little insight into what they actually do. So, the shirt... the bandaging shirt. After receiving a critical hit, the bandaging shirt will heal 1d6 plus constitution modifier, minimum of 1, hit point immediately. It also renders the wearer immune to any ongoing effect from taking damage, but it does not protect against ongoing sources. Example, renders immune to the effect of ongoing damage from Melf acid arrow, but does not protect from standing in a wall of fire. The buckler of barrier. It has 6 charge. Charges recharges at dawn after a long rest, should dawn never come. The buckler only grants +1 to AC. However, at the cost of 1 charge, and as a reaction that can be taken against what triggered the reaction, a single immovable plane of energy can be summoned. The plane of energy is nearly translucent, creating only a faint lensing effect when looking directly through it. The wall appears in front and perpendicular to the buckler's front. So if you're holding the buckler like this, the barrier is going to be like this. If you're holding it upward, it's going to appear above your head. Where was I? The plane of energy is a 1/4 of an inch thick. It lasts 10 minutes or until dispelled by the wearer or the buckler. If the wall cuts through a creature, it's a creature's space when it appears. The creature is pushed to one side of the wall. Your choice, which side. So essentially, that part is the same thing as saying it creates just 1 panel of a force wall.
How big is it?
Did I not write it?
No, you just said how thick it is.
Then it's just 1 square, so 5 feet by 5 feet.
Okay.
I'll have to
Everyone
add that.
knows this length is important than girth. No.
All right. Nothing can physically pass through the wall. It is immune to all damage and can't be dispelled by dispel magic. A disintegrate spell destroys the wall instantly. That's why it survived the first disintegrating arrow. The wall also extends into the ethereal plane, blocking ethereal travel through the wall. Although, admittedly, it's not hard going around that wall. Here's the element that's a little bit different. If the wearer attunes it to itself, the buckler can be triggered mentally. No command word needed. If the wearer does not attune to it, a command word is needed to activate and deactivate its ability. Multiple barriers can be activated, but only one can be activated at a time. So basically, if you're attuned to it, you can activate it even if you're in the middle of a silence spell. But if you're not attuned to it, then you can't use it while in a silence spell. That's the barrier. That's the buckler of barrier.
Good.
All right. So those objects are easily identified.
Is it a shield?
It's a buckler. It's a type of
Yes,
shield, but it's very small.
Okay, yeah, like equipment-wise, does it take... Sounds like it doesn't require a hand?
No, a buckler is that's interesting. Some bucklers you actually do require a hand, but some bucklers you could actually strap to your forearm. That's interesting. I did not think about it.
Yeah, but I guess, yeah, my is it a shield question is, does it require hand and does it require shield proficiency?
Because it's a magical object which can be triggered. No, to use the ability, you don't need shield proficiency, but I guess that what would be normal would be to say that you don't benefit from the +1 AC if you're not proficient with shield. Because at the end of the day, a buckler is still a shield.
But it doesn't require a hand, or it does?
Well, I didn't think about this one. I'll think about it further.
I mean, judging by, because I think that's the typical balance people do whenever they introduce a buckler or a similar kind of shield, is that the reduced AC potential is the counterbalance. So, like, instead of being a shield that normally gives a +2, it is a +1 instead, but in exchange, it doesn't take up a hand.
I'd be in favor of accepting that, especially since it's a magical object and not just a regular run-of-the-mill buckler, which would normally be something that you'd take with one hand, because a real buckler you can actually punch with it. So some have actually had spikes added to the front, so you can actually punch with it. But this one doesn't. So yeah, I'd be inclined to accepting that it's something that you can strap to your forearm and it just covers your hand, maybe all the way to there. So if you have a fist, it covers your hand completely. I'll add it.
All right.
Also, I think my brain skipped it over. Like, what was the circlet again?
Spell storing. Just like the ring.
And it has one hold person still stored in it.
Yeah.
Or was it hold monster or hold
monster?
person?
Hold monster.
He
really wanted to be sure that it could hold anything. So it's just like a ring of spell storing, but it's a circlet. So.
It's just a big ring of spells.
Yeah.
Big enough to fit on your head.
Well, funny enough, it does mean that you can be attuned simultaneously to this and a ring of spell storing. But
yeah.
Yeah. If you want to store all the spells.
All right. So that was it. Boots of speed, bandaging shirt, sort of life stealing. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's that. Well, he was the general of he was the warlord of an army, so he had some decent stuff.
All the stuff he was doing wrong.
Yeah, shouldn't have got one shot. Unlucky.
Well, to be fair, it's because you use a distraction. You arrive from the top, so he used his buckler, and you told her to attack as soon as you attacked. So he used his
He was not
reaction.
expecting the crit disintegrating arrow in the back of his head.
And
Oh.
you used his reaction, so he couldn't use it again to shield himself from the arrow when it arrived.
Yeah.
Oh, probably a good clarifying question.
Yes.
What type of sword is the Sword of Life Stealing?
Oh yeah, longsword,
Yeah,
sword,
Great
I'm,
sword.
sword.
I'm gonna go with longsword.
Okay.
It's like, oh yeah, pretty important detail.
Although, if you're asking me this because you want to know if you can use it properly, I'd be.
Oh no, I just needed to know what
Okay.
time it was.
Okay.
For
I was
clerical
just gonna
purposes.
say I'd
I
be
understand we
inclined to
have
change.
resources at the garden to change its form.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could always change his form. It's fine to lose.
Okay. All right.
I
So-
literally have a sword that will become a random sword currently after what was originally a.
Now you can just ask someone to smash the two together, and you have a surge of changing nature that's life stealing.
Yeah.
Fear my sewing needle that can steal life. So, you got your room. You identify everything. Fisher, I guess you also go to your room. Do you spend the night watching the door, or do you try?
Nah, Fisher's gonna go to sleep. I think he's exhausted enough.
Well, what I want to know is, do you spend the night sentry resting in front of the door, actually sleeping to dream, or meditating to try and go into your mental space?
I think
You've had enough of gods. You just want to relax.
yeah, I think it's kind of he's just shutting down. He's not trying to dream. He's just like, I've had enough of today. Let it be tomorrow.
You know what, Terranad? I'm letting you drive for 6 hours. All right. In that case, audience, you go to your room. You have a brief moment
Bart
where
smashes in. I'll tell you a tale of.
you go inside and you sit on your bed for a brief moment, ready to just let yourself fall asleep. But on the door, do you respond?
Or I would respond. I would open.
It's Ilithane.
Illiphane, I didn't expect to see you.
Yes.
Is there a reason for you to stop by? You don't normally, I feel like, interact with us all too much as adventurers.
I know. I have a nut house of gnomes to take care of. But after the story you told, I feel like you might need to hear something.
Very well. I'm here to listen.
You know about the war that engulfed our world.
I do. I know it was a great war that basically ended up destroying everything. Caused you to flee.
5,000 years ago it ended. When the last wizard was killed, their influence ended. And I found myself without guidance in a world that I helped destroy. No matter where I went, there was someone who knew someone that I'd killed. During thousands of years, I slaughtered hundreds of thousands. I extinguished entire species. Flying fortress fell from the sky onto cities on the ground because of me.
How were you ever able to forgive yourself, to move on to do better?
I accepted the past. There's nothing that I could do to change it. I thought for a while to leave and hide. Leaving the world for 200 years was nothing for my lifespan. But then I realized that no matter what I did, someone would remember. Maybe not those who lived it, but some of them may be simply longer lived species, like elves or dragons. And there would be those who wrote down history, telling how the second commander of an entire wing made sure that a flying city fell on a city as it lost its battle against the armies that I had. I realized that doing this would only be trying to run away. I tried to help rebuild, but there would always be someone to blame me for something. That is not something you can avoid. People have died. People have suffered because of that. People will remember this for a very long time. But this does not change the fact that you have to find a way to rebuild.
No. It will be harder now, though. The audience. He'll strike. He'll strike the wall with his sword, and he'll show. I'll be like, no divine power courses through my veins anymore. I will have to, at least of the moment, until perhaps another accepts me, or I can find another who will. I'll have to continue on without the powers that have granted me much of my strength throughout my life. My god has well, not abandoned me. I have left it, which was my choice, as I did not agree with its sentiment or ideas any longer, but it does leave me my path ahead far harder than it would have been otherwise.
But nonetheless, it is a path that you chose. It was not one that was imposed on you. And that is the first step. That
Just the
is
first step.
what you can hold on to. You chose, and so you understood. And so you were at that point where you could see what was around you.
You're right. I did choose, but I still fear that I took so many others' choices from them, or at least made it so hard for them to choose that they have not yet made a good choice in many years. Do you know my old friend, the one who runs now the church, who I assume is in charge and makes many decisions based on the deaths of villages, others, poisons, all for the sake of this god that she has devoted her life to. I remember when we were kids and would run through the fields together before the gods came, before she joined as a priestess of his religion. I remember how much she used to care for the life around her, how she would even make sure to not step or crush the wings of a butterfly as we passed, how she seemed to love the light and the laughter of the day, and yet now she has become this figure that brings so much death and misery in her wake, and all because of a decision that she may have not had the choice in making, but simply the devotion, thinking it was right from what she learned.
From what others' adventurers told me, the way that your God works is by letting people twist themselves, not forcing it. Because when you are forced, you can start resenting. You can start feeling like you're exposed to things which made it unavoidable. But when you choose to take a path of destruction, then that is different, because the evolution feels natural.
Perhaps. Perhaps she's become twisted beyond redemption, but I will still always remember that. That little girl that used to protect the butterflies in the fields and the villages.
Maybe that person is still there. Maybe it is not. I cannot speak for her. One thing for sure is that if she has faith to the point of what you say, you will meet her, and she will try to convince you that you have strayed from the proper path.
I know.
You will need to choose when you meet them, when you meet her. Is it too much? Would giving her a choice wasted? If it is wasted, then it means there's nothing you can do. The tree has simply grown too warped, too twisted. But if you do not feel it is wasted, then hope may still be in the future for her.
It's true. But for now, I have to move on. I plan to sleep. I plan to figure out what to do, Still many courses of action. I haven't even told my party of my loss of power, although some might have guessed. I'll have to figure out a way to continue with them to still be there. A source of their strength, a shield for them. We'll see if I can find that strength.
You do know that on its own, that faith, that determination can be enough to bring the attention of some gods to you. But I do feel like there are already gods paying attention to you. You have one which feels warm and powerful. But may I remind you that if you decide that being seen is not the best way to live, you already have been the hero of another god. And you just gesture slightly up, and you see the emblem of the raccoon god inside of your room watching you.
It's true. I have always had many eyes. For at least for a long time. Perhaps a way forward will lay within God, but I have to be sure this time. I have to be sure that it's for the right reasons. I cannot simply blindly follow. That I have learned. I have learned from that mistake, and I will not make it again.
Try not to put more weight on your shoulders than what is necessary. The trap that was laid out to you, you were born in it. You didn't walk into it. That God convinced your entire village, your ancestors, for generations, that he was good.
I know.
So it is normal that you would have thought that he was good. Because everything was made so that it felt right.
Thank you. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you for coming by and telling me some of your story. It gave me more to think on, but I think it will help me come to terms with
If you ever need
everything
to
that I
talk,
felt.
no matter what you lived, there is nothing you can say that will shock me. You can always feel free to talk.
Kind of give him a nod. See. Goes kind of a thankful nod. One warrior to another.
One general of armies to another.
Yeah, well, yes. Slight difference in scale, but...
And even according to what he said second leader. So he's not even a general. Within his own rank, he was the equivalent of not even a commander.
Dude needs to work a little harder. I don't know, kind of slacking out here.
But you get the impression that the kind of armies that the wizard had was incredibly vast, which means that even though
slightly
he
larger
was
scale,
even though he was not even a higher echelon warrior, his armies would probably have been enough to overrun the entire island chain within a few days, if not a single day. Especially since you just saw something that he probably used, the magical puppets.
Yeah. Although that was apparently the simplest version of that book.
Yeah.
So they probably had more advanced spells.
And the puppets were not sentient. He is. So he's so much more complex than they are.
That's really unfortunate too, because in another universe, like a page was used to throw the moon in just 3 days at the planet.
Oh.
It's a shame that in an alternate history, the page had not been used to wipe somebody's bum.
Right. Ilitane gives you a bow. As always, you can't see his form. He always wears this black cloak. But you feel like you can actually see his hands. The others have black gloves. His hand feels a little bit more metallic, but it's difficult to say if it's actually just some sort of glove or if it's actually his hand. But, that's how you can recognize him from all of the others, because he's exactly the same size as all of the other wardens. So, turns around and leaves you. And you are left alone in your room.
Audience will continue getting ready for bed.
All right.
Rest.
That was an interesting conversation. And then you hear, "Audience, are you okay? Are you alone?" It's Shay's voice.
Okay. I was gonna say, was that like the whisper of like an agent? Like, did not sound good. Audience will respond. He'll be like, "Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me? Testing. One,
It
2,
actually
3.
works.
1, 2."
It actually works. That's amazing. So, one thing I have to say, if you want to talk, on my end, it's effortless. But on your end, it is the same thing as a sending spell. So, if you start talking a lot, you will hear me say very often at least something like because otherwise you will stop at 25 words and I will not understand anything else that you say after. So it's not because I want to be annoying, it's just because there's no other way to make it work. And just so that you know, on my side, I do not hear what you say. It appears on my book, so I read it. Which is why you can talk in any language you know, because I can understand any language that you know.
The exiled awoke. We are all safe. Back in the garden. The mission was a success.
Well, that's good. And obviously, you survived.
Yes,
So?
everyone survived.
That's good. That's good. I was a bit worried when you were talking about all of this. Tobiashi always seemed to be a little bit jittery, and Jorg is often distracted, so I was a bit worried for all of you. So just say you don't need to count your words because she told you that she's gonna go when you're talking. That's
Okay.
my way of saying you can just talk. The audience needs to remember that she's gonna keep doing this, but she's gonna keep doing this so you can talk without counting your words.
Without cocky like Fisher.
Yeah. Hey. The unconscious agree before.
That's
So,
good.
I feel this is working because of gods and because of, they agree with what's happening, but I'm probably not going to be able to do the same thing with the rest of your party. So, aside from you and Tobiashi, there's really no one else that can actually hear me when I do this. So, any conversation that you want to initiate, I mean, we can do this the same way as it was before, using the person of your expedition garden. I believe you said garden.
Yeah.
I believe we can use the same thing that they did, but you're gonna have to use their help if you want everyone to be part of the messaging.
Okay. I guess for now, are you all right? Are you safe?
Mostly, we do have to change hidings every few months. Um, they did send a few grievers to hunt for us. Fortunately, Fisher's family is resourceful and scary.
Mm-hmm. Are they still all alive? Fisher would probably want to know.
Yes, they're all alive. I don't know. I feel like some of them may have suffered important head injuries. One keeps asking to suck my toes.
No, well, perhaps you're right, but I don't think that's a new injury.
Oh, okay. I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah.
So for now, everything seems to be doing well.
Have you heard from I blanking on the gnome's name that we left also there?
Karn, I think.
Karn. I think it's Karn.
Yeah.
I guess at the garden. Halfling. No, but not halfling. Gnomes. Calm. Sorry.
Con, yeah. Have you heard it all from Con? Is he doing all right?
Yes. He's been doing a lot of reconnaissance. He's been acting a little bit as our first line of defense to warn us that we need to move because grievers are getting close. The wizard is.
Oh, does he have a new girlfriend, by the way, or anyone he's seen?
I'm not sure if you are aware that I'm the only living female in this group. So, are you asking me
Okay.
if I'm dating him or if?
No, he has a girl out here that I think his life would be very dependent on that he remains single while over there.
Okay, don't worry. He's very focused on keeping all of us alive, and
That's good.
I don't know. He feels a little
For
bit
the sake
short
of
for
his
my
life,
taste.
if he does ask to date you, I would.
I'll keep that in mind. But
Okay.
let's just say that I'm not looking for this right now.
That's good. I will. If I see his personality, I'll try and reassure her.
And also, I don't want to be insensitive, but I kind of like it better when the other person is taller than my waist.
Damn. Unlucky. Audience will not say that. He'll just try and keep it a laugh. Be like, all right, not gonna mention that to him. Don't need to kill his self-confidence there. That's good. That's good. Understandable. I guess. Whatever floats your boat.
I guess. I mean, I think some people would actually like it, but I don't know. It feels weird if I think of it.
Oh, understandable. All right. Well, I'm glad you're all right. Um, I'm glad you guys are surviving. We're still haven't gotten an update recently on. Oh my god, I cannot remember any names right now. It's good. On Civ's blue friends.
Krill.
Blue friends. Yeah, Krill's health, but we're still waiting. We're still hoping that he can make a recovery, and still gathering more resources for hopefully our return trip.
Well, so long as you keep it in mind and alive, I think that's gonna help a lot of people to keep hope. Because sometimes calm does look a little bit weary, worried that he may never get out of here. And to be quite honest, Fisher's family has been very inquisitive about what the world on the other side looks like. I think they're hoping they'll get out of here at one point.
Well, we'll keep working on our end. You guys keep surviving. Hopefully, I'll give you, of course, any updates that we make.
I'll appreciate
Once
it. And final good news, because we've been traveling so much, no new machines sending balls your way have been made. So, but I think there's still one functioning because sometime I see something leaving the town. But I, at least there's no additional threat to your head.
That's all right.
He's still a bit sour about what you did to his books.
Audience does not respond that. He might be more sour about what I do to him next time I see him. But no, I'm kidding. She doesn't need to hear that.
Because you don't say anything, she does say, I'm glad to hear that you're not thinking about escalating things. He is very resourceful.
Of course. I'm a man of peace and always have been. I've never done a violent thing in my life.
I feel like you're exaggerating some part of this affirmation.
I would never exaggerate. It's all coming in writing. I have turned over a new leaf. I am a man of I'm simply here for love, and I've found a deep new love for wizards. In fact, I really appreciate them for what they are and really respect their crafts and trade.
Can you roll deception to see how honest your tone feels?
He doesn't get toned, it's all words.
Yeah, that's
The
true,
fuck?
that's true. That's true. Alright, it's just text version. Okay. Fair. So she just says, yes. Well, if you truly turned the new leaf, if you are as much into love and sharing warmth and everything, I feel like there's something a little bit weird with your god, because usually gods of battle and gods of love aren't the same thing.
I found out. Well, not found out. I've known for a while. I actually rejected my god today. That wouldn't even be yesterday. It would have been today. I actually rejected my god today when I learned that it was the Eyes of the Abyss and has been manipulating me and my clan for over 1,000 years to have us do its evil deeds for it. And now I am seek to destroy what I created.
Okay.
The 3-paragraph text.
That's a lot for a Tuesday.
It's a lot for a Tuesday, guys.
At that point, I wouldn't call this turning a new leaf. I'd call this changing a book. That's a lot. How do you feel? I can't imagine that this would be an easy change.
Not great. Frowny face. Single tear.
You start sending emojis. We have the birth of text messaging. Okay. Wow. It's too bad I don't have access to a library. I would offer you to make research and, help you maybe understand more about this deity that you realize was actually your god.
I plan to do some more research into him now that I have to take him down, or at least help dismantle some of what he's built.
Well, I feel like you could probably ask Tobiashi a little bit of help, because I think he was actively trying to prove you that your god was rotten.
He's been gone for a while. He's off helping children. He's no longer part of our party. I did receive some help, though, from your god.
Oh. Well,
yeah,
that's
when I rejected my god and it tried to destroy me, as angry gods are tend to do, your god, when I reached out to him, helped defend me with its light. And this is actually not the first time I've reached out to your god, and he's defended me multiple times before.
You do know that for a god to interfere in matters like this, it already means that he considers you at least to be worthy of something. So you may think you're alone right now, but I don't think you are. I think you're just having trouble accepting it and embracing it. So the problem may not be the gods. The problem may be you. You just need to accept.
Thanks, Sachet. What every man wants to hear is right when they've found out that they've basically betrayed everything they've ever stood for, and their family and village has suffered for 1,000 years because of them. Is it's because it's all because of you. I appreciate it. I'm kidding. I don't say that.
You write it, but then you said no. That would be just too
I
mean to
delete-
say. You
I delete the message. I delete the message. The text it
There's
is
a
instead.
long time of 3 dots happening.
There's a long time of 3 dots, and I say, thank you for your insight.
10 minutes long, 3 dots, and it just says thanks.
Thank you for your insight.
You just need to forgive yourself. It's. I mean, if you ever want to be sure, just look yourself in the mirror. You don't look like an evil person. So, I think everything's gonna be fine. You just need to see it as well.
Thank you. All right. I'm still recovering from our battle earlier, so I'm going to try and get some rest, but thank you, and I'm glad you're all right. I'll keep you updated.
So, when would you like to try and call back?
We'll set up every 3 days. How about that?
Well, that's easy to do. Like I said, all I have to do is open my book. So for me, it's quite easy. The only moment where it's hard if I'm running, but
Yeah, we'll send an
Usually,
update every 3 days
Okay, good.
or so, just to make sure the others are still alive and any updates that might have occurred.
Okay. Take care of yourself, audience. It's important. You can't help others if you're dead.
You as well.
Although recently I feel more like people have been taking care of me than more.
I'm sure your smile brightens their days.
Yeah. It's always fun to see a horned creature smile at you. Always inspire confidence.
Can. You have a very nice smile. Don't forget that.
Well, I think you're biased.
I'm just trying to be nice, man.
Because of the time you spent with her, you know that she fundamentally sees herself as
No, I know.
not worth
I
saving.
know.
So
I know she does.
you're not gonna convince her with just a single conversation.
Audience just sends a couple broken hearts, a sad face, and a smile.
All right. So she tells you, all right, see you in 3 days.
See you in 3 days.
And then you hear nothing.
What a crazy text conversation, guys. The late night phone texting conversations.
You immediately take out your orb and you call Fisher. Fisher, I had the weirdest conversation.
You know, I probably would call Fisher, but mostly just to let him know that his family was still alive.
And
Because I feel like that might help him sleep.
And Malgam is still weird.
Yeah, well, that's a given.
All right.
Actually, yeah, I would call Fisher. I'd call Fisher quickly before I went to bed.
All right. Fisher, you are being called. Sierra if you pick up, Sierra tells you that audience wants to talk to you.
Okay.
Do you accept collect call?
Quick question. In believing he went to his room
Yes.
and I am in my room,
Yes.
how far apart are our rooms?
At worst, 100 feet. At best, probably like 20 feet.
That's way too much effort, Fisher. It's way too much effort to come knock on your door, buddy.
He will pick up.
Hey, I just wanted to let you know that me and Sachet have figured out a way to communicate. and also that your family, her as well, and Colin, but also your family are alive and all right for now. Just thought that would maybe help ease your mind a little.
Quick DM question.
Yep.
Is Sachet doing something special with sending, or does sending in general get through?
She was doing something special, I think.
She's using the combination of her book because she's Pact of the Tome, and it's an ability. It's a invocation that she can use her book to use the sending spell without using material component or spell slots. So essentially, she's basically using her patron to talk.
But my
You wanted to know if you
cast
use the
sending.
sending spell, would it get through? Probably.
Okay.
But you'll be subjected to the limitation of sending because since it's not going through a book, it's not a conversation she can have normally.
Because I mean, I haven't mentioned this, but I feel like on off days, Terry would be chatting as attempting to.
No
with
one
his
ever
sending.
asked him. Maybe he already is.
Yeah. So even though I haven't mentioned it, I think that has been happening,
Okay.
and so Fisher is aware they're doing okay, but not much else.
No, conversation are really short.
Short. Yeah.
Because she is able to understand all languages because of her pact. She understands what Terry is saying, but Terry doesn't necessarily understand what she's saying. He's just aware that she's aware that he's sending her a
Yeah.
message.
Yeah. That's good to know. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any specifics?
Not too many. Just apparently your family's resourceful. That, yeah, they're surviving. They've had some grievers sent after them, but they've managed to survive it. And yeah, probably it's not easy, but hopefully we can go back and help them out at some point. Your family apparently does want to, or is excited about seeing the rest of the world. Potentially.
Understandable.
Or then Sachet is being her normal self of basically hating herself at all times.
Yeah, that sounds exhausting.
Yeah. But I told her we'd communicate every 3 days, so we can kind of keep updates. And also, once we figure stuff out, we can probably increase that to actually help formulate a plan with the people on the other side.
Which was why I gave that possibility to Tobiyashi, but because he left, you had lost it. Just a DM note.
So, yep, that's all the updates for now. Just calling to let you know. All right, I'm gonna pass out. I'll talk to you later.
Get some sleep.
Darren had to tell you, you really need to learn to talk a little bit more because no one can understand your facial expression. So your I understand face looks just like your I'm gonna kill you face.
Well, it's kind of difficult because most of my face is a
I know. I mean, learn to do
metal.
something else. I don't know. Grunt when you're unhappy.
I don't. I'm still not amazing at social stuff, but
I
I
know
think
that, but
being in general in conversation makes people uncomfortable.
yeah, but he's supposed to be your friend, so I'm sure that they don't mind as much. Well, maybe Jorg minds because he's still not sure if you're actually a living person or not, but I'm sure the others don't.
Sure.
And you know that Remy can actually learn stuff when you talk to him. So talking to him actually helps him get more vocabulary. I'm pretty sure he enjoys that.
Cuts to Ramie's room. A series of beeps. Very colorful.
That's
Then
always
you see
very
Remy take the little book with the children's tale. No, I gotta learn something else. Sorry. This is how I should express this. All right. All right. So, with this little banter that you're starting with Taranad before going back to sleep, yeah, that's gonna be it for tonight's episode. I feel like for for our audience at least, it's a pretty packed episode. So, next episode, most likely, you're gonna wake up and you're gonna have to start deciding what's your next step. Because as I've said, the only things that are left are your 3 goals and each one of your personal stories, which admittedly audience you're the one that has the most to do with it, but other than those 6 elements and consequences from something you might do, that's all that's left of this campaign. So you really decide the pace at which this campaign ends from this point on, and whether you want to go directly to the end or do your close your personal stories. Like I said, every element is 1 level, so you have a minimum of 6 level in front of you if you want to finish everything, plus 1, because I'm the dungeon master and I know something you don't.
Which, if we did the math,
Is
13 plus
exactly
6 is exactly 20. Yes.
Yep. If you decide to close all of your personal stories and do the last 3 module, you will do the last fight right after leveling to 20. But also, you you don't need to get to 20 if you want. If you say no, it's too long. That's okay. We don't have to close my story.
What if I want to get to level 70?
That's gonna take a while.
later.
I'm not sure that the other players want to do another 300 episodes.
Day 543 inside the gem.
Day 543 inside the gym, watching audience do his training arc.
Well, you know, technically, you do have, well, using that, the best excuse to suddenly start a second campaign inside of your main campaign.
What if Audience and Remy though become lovers inside the gem? Because what happens in the gem stays in the gem.
Don't give him hope.
It's been 28 episodes, and Audience is still running on Snake Way.
All right. So that's gonna be it for tonight. Where's my music? Campfire, because I like ending on campfire, and I think that everything should always end with a campfire. This and this. All right, so you've got some gank in real life. The Audience Remy slow burn bromance makes the campaign.
Makes everything worth it.
Rooting for our romance.
Well, for Audience, it's a romance, but for Remy, it's hope of a romance. Alright, so thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for watching. Hope you found whatever it was you were looking for, and hope you had a pleasant, whatever part of the day it is, wherever you are in the world. If you want to support us, we got Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, Patreon, a link below if you want to make donations. Only make donations if you can afford it. And, you know, you can always also just spread the word of the channel. All of those things helps. Schedule, you know, live broadcasts, Wednesday, 7:30 Western Coast time. Rebroadcast Friday, 7:30 Eastern Coast time. And in between, world building and map making with me at 9:30 Eastern Coast time, because that's where I live. And that's everything that I can possibly say before we end. So, like I said, and I keep saying every time, 5 times over before we finish a stream, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Hope to see you again next week. And as always, stay safe and stay healthy. Good night.
Good night. All right.